August 2017 should have been a turning point, but in the gritty downtown of Oshawa, Ontario, for 18-year-old Rori Hache, it was the end of a heartbreaking struggle. Pregnant and fighting to overcome addiction to build a life for her unborn child, Rori's journey was cut short in a basement apartment on McMillan Drive. Rori was last seen alive on August 29th. Months later, her torso was found floating in Lake Ontario by fishermen, but the rest of her remained missing. It wasn't until a plumbing disaster occurred that the true horror was revealed.
Communications.
I'm a plumber and I'm on site for a job, and we're snaking a drain, and we've been pulling back. We probably pulled back about 10 pounds, 15 pounds of it looks like flesh type of stuff. Meat, and we don't know what it is.
19 McMillan Drive was not just a home, it was a slaughterhouse concealing the remains of Rori and another missing girl, Kandis Fitzpatrick. What actually happened behind those basement doors? A lure for the vulnerable? This is the disturbing story of 45-year-old Adam Strong, where a facade of a harmless movie buff hid a cold-blooded predator. To understand this tragedy, you must understand the victim. Rori Hache was a symbol of tragic irony. On her neck, she bore a tattoo of the word alive, her testament to her resilience and desire to survive. She was street smart, yet incredibly close to her mother, Shannon Dion, communicating with her daily. Her sudden silence was deafening. She was a girl who sought safety, but found a monster. This vulnerability clashed violently with the lifestyle of her killer, Adam Strong. Adam, known locally as the Gooch, lived in a dark, windowless basement apartment filled with movie props and surveillance cameras. He was the complete opposite of Rori. He projected an image of an awkward, lonely man who worked odd jobs, but inside his home, he created a dungeon. For years, he lived surrounded by filth and BDSM restraints. While Rori was fighting for a future, Adam was collecting victims, treating women as disposable props in his twisted reality. No one knew that, while police were dredging the lake for Rori's remains, the rest of her was being systematically flushed down a toilet just blocks away. On that fateful discovery, there was no dramatic raid initially. Only a plumber calling 911, horrified by what he pulled from the drain. 15 pounds of human flesh. In the interrogation room, Adam Strong tried to play the intellectual superior, treating the discovery of human remains as a mere inconvenience. Now let's put Adam's reaction on the scale of logic. He constructed a persona of indifference. The jig is up. But that very calmness gave him away.
If you're looking for the rest of her, you'll find her in the freezer. My question to you is the person in that freezer, Rori?
I decline to answer that question.
Okay. You're saying you decline to answer it, but you're shaking your head this way. Does that mean anything?
No.
Okay. Any interest from you at all in telling us your side of things?
No.
Nothing?
No.
Consider the gravity of this moment. Police are at his door, investigating a report of human remains found in his plumbing. A normal human reaction would be confusion, terror, or immediate denial. Yet, Adam Strong chooses to crack a joke? This isn't just a defense mechanism. It hints at a profound detachment from reality. By treating a potential murder investigation like a minor inconvenience or a bad punchline, he isn't acting like a man who made a mistake. He is acting like a man who believes he is intellectually superior to the badge standing in front of him. This behavior suggests a preparation for a script. If caught, he must remain the main character in his own twisted narrative, never showing weakness or fear.
And we've been pulling back. We probably pulled back about 10 pounds, 15 pounds of it looks like flesh type of stuff. Meat, and we don't know what it is.
The plumbers recounted a scene straight out of a nightmare, pulling up 10 to 15 pounds of a flesh-like substance. Let's analyze the brutality required to create that blockage. This wasn't a one-time act. This was a systematic, labor-intensive process of dismemberment and disposal that likely took days. The blockage had been building up, causing a stench that permeated the building. The most disturbing aspect is Adam's presence during this crisis. He stood by, watching the tradesmen work, watching neighbors complain, with a calmness that defies belief. Human instinct, when hiding a body, is sheer panic when the disposal method fails. His nonchalance is a cold-blooded calculation. He seemingly believed that by stripping the victim of her humanity and reducing her to mere organic matter, he could fool everyone. He bet on the plumbers seeing it as just meat and moving on, a gamble only a predator would take. In the interrogation room, Adam Strong continuously used passive-aggressive tactics to control the narrative. However, he made fatal mistakes in maintaining his facade.
If you're looking for the rest of her, you'll find her in the freezer. My question to you is the person in that freezer, Rori.
I decline to answer that question.
Okay. You're saying you decline to answer it, but you're shaking your head this way. Does that mean anything?
No.
Okay. Any interest from you at all in telling us your side of things?
No.
Nothing?
No.
Okay.
Adam looks into the bag of food the detective brought and asks, "No fries?" This moment is pivotal, not for what he said, but for what he prioritized. He is sitting in a police station, suspected of butchering a human being, yet his focus is entirely on his own immediate gratification. His purpose was not just about hunger. He wanted to signal to the police, "I am so unbothered by this murder accusation, so devoid of conscience, that my biggest concern is a missing side dish." This is a psychological power play aimed at diminishing the severity of the crime. By reducing the interrogation to a customer service complaint about food, he attempts to strip the detectives of their authority and unnerving them with his lack of empathy.
The 24th is when you start this. You said Christmas Eve?
Yes.
Are you doing this while it's frozen or is it partially defrosted?
Completely defrosted.
Okay. Now that would take several hours, wouldn't it?
No, not bathtub full of hot water.
Oh, okay. Okay. Like within a couple hours?
I wouldn't wager. I had to fill the bathtub up a few times. How's that
To
sound?
keep the water hot?
Yes.
Okay, gotcha. Gotcha.
I don't know if I should really be talking about that, but ultimately you do have me on the... There's no getting around that.
Yep.
He puts his head down and whispers to the officer, "The jig is up. It's a body." Listen closely to the tone. This is not a confession born of guilt or remorse. It is a boast. It's the reveal of a secret he has been keeping. When facing arrest, a normal person usually denies the crime or panics at the loss of their future. But Adam treated it like the climax of a movie scene he had directed in his head. He observed his own arrest as a plot point, a dramatic twist, rather than the destruction of his life. That whisper was designed to shock, to take control of the moment, and to validate his own significance as the author of this horror.
How old was Rori? 18. Okay, how much of her body did you guys get back? Obviously the entire skeletal structure, right?
Well, we obviously whatever was in the house.
Yes,
we
in the
got.
freezer.
Yes.
And how much of it were you able to pull out of the pipes?
Quite a bit. It was bad luck.
Yeah, that's what I tell people. They're like, "You're stupid." I'm like, "You kidding me?"
Well,
That's an awesome way.
Adam admits, "I just got greedy." This single phrase is perhaps the most terrifying insight into his methodology. He refers to the act of flushing body parts not as a horrific desecration of a human being, but as a logistical error in waste management. He isn't sorry for killing Rori. He is sorry that his disposal method was inefficient, that he tried to push too much material down the pipes at once. The fact that he framed the discovery as bad luck or greed creates a direct window into his soul. To him, the victim was never a person with dreams or a family. She was an object, a resource to be used, and eventually refused to be managed. This level of objectification is the hallmark of a killer who has completely deactivated his humanity. Adam's arrogance collapsed completely in the face of forensic science. The police did not need his full cooperation because his apartment had spoken for it all.
Every time she came to my house, she left my house. Under her own power.
Kandis.
Both?
Oh, okay. Because, well, obviously, that charge has been laid in her.
Yeah.
Murder.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you wonder how that came about. I assume you do.
I'm pretty sure I have an idea of the objects that were had her DNA on it. How's that sound?
When investigators opened the freezer, the head of Rori Hache was found inside. In forensic profiling, keeping a body part, especially the head, often signifies a need to possess the victim even after death. It is completely different from a panic disposal. It is a trophy. He refused to answer if it was Rori, shaking his head. This is the reaction of a narcissist trying to hold on to the last scrap of information, trying to maintain power over the victim's identity even when the physical evidence is undeniable. This shows the elements of predation and opportunity. Investigators found a specialized hunting knife with DNA from not just Rori, but also 19-year-old Kandis Fitzpatrick, who went missing in 2008. The presence of Kandis's DNA on a blade kept for 10 years shows that this was a case of serial nature.
A missing female at the time was identified as Kandis Fitzpatrick from the Oshawa area. Family had reported to the DRPS in 2010 concerns of her not having been seen since 2008, and she was 18 years old at the time.
Adam was not just a one-time killer, he was a collector. The discovery of BDSM gear and the specific knife indicates he derived pleasure from the act. Rori and Kandis were not random. They were targeted because they were vulnerable. He killed them not because of a sudden rage, but because they satisfied a dark fantasy he had nurtured for a decade. Throughout the trial in 2021, Adam Strong displayed a chilling lack of emotion, often appearing bored or rolling his eyes while the victim impact statements were read. He showed no remorse for the lives he stole.
We're barely surviving a year and a half going through this. I couldn't imagine 10 years, you know. And I met that family in person. There's no way that they did not report that child missing. There's no way, you know. They're good. They're good-hearted people. They're hurt. They're crushed. They're crushed. It's very hard to accept that this happened so close to the police station, so close to the downtown core. You know, I've lived in Oshawa 43 years. I was born and raised here. I never thought we had to worry about problems like this here. We had some bad people, but not sent straight from the pit of hell. You know what I mean? So I don't know how to feel about anything other than right now I'm most blessed by the work the detectives have done and their superiors and everything that's been put into this. I do not get the attitude. He's guilty of nothing in his mind. He's already judged, tried, and convicted himself of being guilty of nothing. You know what I mean? I don't have any words for this guy. I don't have any names to call him. I don't have any words for him other than, you know, maybe think about doing the right thing for this city and my family and all my friends that will never be the same again because this has slaughtered us all.
With the overwhelming evidence of the freezer contents and the DNA on the gut hook knife, Justice Joseph DeLuca delivered the verdict. He stated, "You are a monster who has no place in civil society." The sentence was decisive. Life imprisonment with no chance of parole for 25 years for the first-degree murder of Rori Hache and a concurrent 18 years for the manslaughter of Kandis Fitzpatrick. The Adam Strong case closed a dark chapter in Oshawa's history. It revealed that the weird guy next door could be harboring nightmares in his basement. Beneath the clutter and the arrogance, Adam Strong was a predator who treated women like game to be hunted. But ultimately, the alive spirit of Rori Hache ensured he would die in a cage.